Welcome back to ETV News and Sport, where we all know there's the festive season, also known as the season to be merry. But did you know that right after the jolly season comes divorce season? Shook much? Well, I am too. According to family law firms, January is known as the divorce season. The firms are being inundated with new divorce inquiries. It would appear as if the COVID-19 pandemic, though not to blame, has seen an increase in the usual flood of divorce inquiries in 2021. To discuss this not-so-pleasant season, we chat to Shani van Niekerk, a senior associate and attorney at Adams and Adams. Shani, thank you so much for chatting to us this afternoon. It's definitely not a happy topic to talk about. Happy New Year or not so happy New Year for some. But I do believe the family law firms are now being inundated. Let's talk a bit about that. What do you think the increase is coming from?
I think it is unfortunate that after most festive seasons, we see an increase in divorces. And I think the reason is twofold. Firstly, people are not used to spending so much time together. People escape their homes by going to the office. And now with the added stresses of the pandemic, which specifically increases financial difficulty, has increased the numbers that we have seen directly after these December periods.
Well, Shani, let's start here for a second. Nobody says I do to then, a few years later say I don't. And unfortunately, it does get there. But how can couples start better understanding the contracts that they've actually made? You hear ANC, anti-nuptial, accrual. But is there perhaps a website, a book that, as couples one could read and get a better understanding?
It is such a sad reality that so often clients walk into my office not even understanding or even knowing what they signed, let's say whether it's 5 years ago, 10 years ago, when they signed their anti-nuptial contract. I would suggest for people to go onto the Adams and Adams website, where I have written an article which deals exactly with the different types of marital regimes that are available and what each of them means.
And I think it's so important because I think we just assume that everything's going to be rosy, and then when the split comes, we get a shock when that does happen. Of course, Shani, it's not a light topic, but what would be your advice to couples who are going through the most right now?
To understand that this is also only just a part of your life. However, the decisions that you make during your divorce will impact the rest of your life going forward. I always tell my clients to take a step back, breathe. I often advise couples to go for therapy to make them fighting fit, if you can call it that way, to understand and to be able to deal with the litigation process, because it is very emotional. But mostly take a step back, breathe, and try and deal with it more in a business-like fashion and not so emotional.
All right. More like a business-like way and not so emotional. Of course, feelings involves hopes and dreams involved, but it is a difficult situation. Shani van Niekerk, there, senior associate and attorney at Adams and Adams. On to some more trending stories now. Mzansi has taken it to Twitter to share their manifestations, plans and hopes of how life will be